All right, let's get into it. We're going to talk about agents of chaos, okay? These are women who are set at odds with their own nature, okay? These are women who are set at odds with their own nature. They have an idea about themselves and relationships that set them in opposition to their nature as women, as female people, okay? And they are going to blame you for why it's not all working, right? The difference between who they want to be and who they are becomes your fault because you were stupid enough to accept an impossible task, which was trying to make something that ain't gonna work. All right. These women typically manifest through these dark triad of behaviors: DAC, DAC, disagreeable, aggressive, and combative. This is a state of disagreement in three different mods inside of that women are using constantly. Not all women, but women who are agents of chaos. All right. So you got a couple of archetypes in the agent of chaos universe. All right. The boss chick, that's one of them, right? The single independent, I don't need a man. The 50-50 chick. The spiritualist, who is like, hey, what's your birth sign? I'm going to read your natal chart. And then your goddesses and queens and divas, all right? So you got to leave these women alone, bro, when you run into them. You got to stay away from them, right? The concept that a lot of men have is, okay, well, sex only. I know I can't have relationships with these girls. They're no good for relationships, but sex only. Bro, listen, each one of these women will come after you, right? Each one of these women, none of them want to be dumped because all of these different archetypes are a different form of, I think, at least a percentage of some form of psychopathy and narcissism, okay? So, and I don't like throwing around that narcissism word because the women have played it out. Every man on the planet is a narcissist. He's toxically masculine. He's the patriarchy. It's misogyny, right? So, I mean, whatever. But here are the archetypes, all right? So your boss chicks, they want to treat you like you're their child or an employee. They want you to answer to them, right? And the reason that this really doesn't work at all for them is obviously these chicks want a man that's above them. Boss chicks want a boss man, right? And so because of that, these women continually fight for you for control over the relationship. They're very likely to cheat on you, especially if you let them pull that bullshit with you. These women want you to dominate them. They want you to constantly be in the active, position of putting them in their place. That's the only thing that they'll accept, but it puts you into a constant state of conflict with this woman. But if you let her have her way and she gets to be the boss chick, she is going to lose respect for you, resent you, and cheat on you, okay? That's the boss chick, man. I'm sorry, right? Single, independent, don't need a man. I'm single, I'm independent, I don't need a man. These women are hyper independent, right? And you will always come second place to their job, to their independence. Any way that they compromise and form as it pertains to their independence, any concession that they make to be in a relationship is settling. They grow resentful, right? And they leave and cheat. You cannot deal with these women. Not only that, if you are unlucky enough to have children with these women, they are the number one purveyors of parental alienation because they are single, independent, and they don't need a man. Guess what? Their kids don't need fathers. They can do it on their own. They single and independent. Can't you see it? Doesn't that make sense? That's what you're dealing with. Then you got your 50-50 chicks. And these women, they say that they'll pay for dates and, go 50-50 on everything. But here's the thing. If you let a woman that's a 50-50 chick pay 50% of the date, you ain't going to get no 50% of no draws, okay? Your ass is going to be right at home with some lotion with some lanolin in it on Pornhub, all right? That's what's going to happen. So when these women are constantly giving you bad advice on how to deal with them. Your 50-50 chicks have this idea of how they want the relationship to work. But if you give it to them, they will grow to resent you. They will cheat on you and they will leave you, okay? So your 50-50 chicks, there's still, you have to understand that no matter what a woman tells you, at the end of the day, she's still a woman, bro. Like, she's not, they aren't different than they have been for the last 100 million years. These concepts are new, but the women have been the same for the last 100 million years. So they are going to tell you shit that makes no sense based off of what they really, based off what they really want and what they're really looking for. So next you got your spiritual, what is your sign girls, okay? They don't have to get to know you. They just got to know your birth sign and look up your natal chart. Anything you do is proof of their worst fear. And their worst fear is why they use this type of bullshit in place of actually getting to know the person as a human being. They take no accountability for their own choices because they can always blame everything on Mercury being in fucking retrograde and their ascending sun or moon being in Virgo or some stupid shit like that. They throw away good men based off of all this bullshit that they read into their normal behavior, normal shit that a man does. The woman goes ahead and reads deeply into it and then disqualifies them. They ignore red flags from the guys that they shouldn't be dealing with at all. And the reason they ignore those red flags is because they're watching the birth sign and it's a whole bunch of bullshit. And then these women write out their worst fears under the subtext of everything you say. These women are reading into everything you say all the time. It all means something more. It all means something different. Nothing you say means what you're saying. It all is some other type of bullshit. Okay? Goddesses, queens, divas. All right? This is the final form, right? This is the highest level. You gotta avoid goddesses. Any woman who gives herself goddess, queen, diva, these women have grandiose egos. Everything that happens has a divine or a demonic purpose. They are completely disconnected from reality and how people really experience them. These are the women that when Kevin Samuels bid it were like, yeah, the sisterhood, the spirits, the ancestors. They are self-entitled. They can justify any type of wrongdoing to any person as long as it benefits them, right, or makes them feel good. They are vindictive. They typically show forms of psychopathy, like, narcissism and sociopathic behavior. Like, these women cheat and lie constantly. And it's nothing to them, right? It happened. It's over. As long as they don't think about it, it's like they never did it. They are always right, and they will never admit fault. Ever. They will die on a lie. These women will die on a lie. And because they believe that saying something and feeling it when you say it is the same thing as something being true. And these women definitely believe in punishing people who displease them or piss them off. So they are incredibly vindictive. They will lie and cheat nonstop. And they will cross your life, screw your life up if you respond to any of this BS. You have to stay away from these women, fellas. Those are the archetypes. Your boss chick, 50-50, I don't need a man. Your spiritual, what's your birth sign, right? Your, the divas, right? Your divas. And your I'm single independent. I'm single independent. All of these girls, they're no good for dating, marriage, relationships, sex, nothing. You gotta leave them alone. I hope that helps, all right? Ladies, if you self-identify as any of these things or men have told you about any of these things, I'd recommend to most of you ladies therapy, right? Because most of you don't have the coping skills to deal with your own feelings, and a way that you manifest that in your communication, in your interpersonal romantic relationships, is categorically abusive, right? When you raise your voice or you insult your man or you passive aggress him or he tries to talk to you about something and you don't want to come out with it and instead you argue about something else that's unrelated, right? All of these things no man has to put up with it. No man deserves, you don't deserve to treat people the way you do. So get some therapy if anybody categorizes you in any of these or you call yourself any of this shit. All right, good day now.